Section 6.4, Day 2. Find the partial fraction decomposition of the following. Well, let's start out with looking at the denominator. This is already factored. And we have a over x plus bx plus c over x squared plus 4. And then we have dx plus e over x squared plus 4 squared. If you have x squared in the denominator, you need one power less in the numerator. So here we have a power of 1, and up here we have a power of 0. So here we have a power of 2, and so in the numerator we have a power of 1. But then once you have the variable, you have to represent the power of 0 also. So this would be x to the 0. Well, now we need common denominator. This denominator needs x squared plus 4 squared. It needs both of these. This one needs an x and an x squared plus 4. And the last one just needs an x. Let's multiply it all out. We have a times x to the 4th plus 8x squared plus 16. And then plus, let's distribute the x through. We have bx plus c times x to the 3rd plus 4x, and then on the last one we have plus dx squared plus ex. Let's multiply the a through. We have ax to the 4th plus 8ax squared plus 16a, and then when we FOIL this we get plus, then when we FOIL this through we get plus bx to the 4th plus 4bx squared plus cx to the 3rd plus 4cx. And then we have plus dx squared plus e to the x. And now remember, this is equal to all of this right here. Let's look at x to the 4th. We have a plus not there, that's an x squared, plus b. And those are the coefficients of x to the 4th, and the coefficient of x to the 4th here is 1. So a plus b equals 1. How about x to the 3rds? The only x to the 3rd we have is right here, so c has to be equal to -1. The coefficient for x to the 3rd is -1. So we have the x to the 3rds. How about x squareds? We have 8a, there's one of the x squareds, plus 4b, there's another one, and the last one is plus d, and the coefficient of x squareds is 8. How about x? We have 4c plus e, 4c plus e, 4c plus e, that's the coefficient of x, and that should be equal to -5. And then finally the only one left is the constant, which is 16a has to equal, the constant is 16. Well, now we know that let's get a, let's get b, let's get c, we need d, and we need e. C is -1, and we find out down at the bottom that a must be 1. Well, if a is 1 and 1 plus b equals 1, if we minus 1 over, b must be 0. And we have 8 times 1 here, which is 8, and then plus 0, because 4 times 0 is 0, plus d is equal to 8. So d must be equal to 0. And finally we have to find e. We have 4c plus e. Well, c is -1. -4 plus e is equal to -5. E must be -1. So e is -1. Well, we can go up here and we can finally write the answer. The answer is, let's see, 1 over x plus, the b is 0, but c is -1. We have -1 over x squared plus 4. The d is 0 and the e is -1. So we can, instead of putting plus -1, we could put minus also. -1 over x squared plus 4 squared. Find the partial fraction decomposition of this one. We have x to the third plus 2x over x squared plus 1 squared is equal to ax plus b over this to the power of 1, so x squared plus 1, and then plus cx plus d over, and now we have x squared plus 1 squared. Well, this denominator needs one more x squared plus 1, and this one has the common denominator. Now x to the third plus 2x is equal to, let's FOIL this, we have ax to the third plus ax, that's outside, inside is plus bx squared, and last is plus b. And then we have plus cx plus d. Let's get the coefficients of x to the third. A now is equal to 1. So a is equal to 1. Coefficients of x are a, and we have a c. So a plus c equals 2. A plus c equals 2. And then we also have a bx squared, but now b is equal to 0, because we don't have an x squared to the left here. And b plus d has to be equal to, b plus d has to be equal to 0 also. Well, if b and d are 0, then d has to be 0. So a is 1. We have 1 plus c equals 2, so c must be 1. Well, now we can write the answer. A is 1. We have x. B is 0, so x over x squared plus 1. And then plus c is 1 as well. That's going to be 1 over x squared plus 1 squared, because the d is 0 as well. Find the partial fraction decomposition of this rational expression. Well, we have 4x to the third minus 7x over x squared plus x plus 1 squared is equal to ax plus b over x squared plus x plus 1, and then plus cx plus d over x squared plus x plus 1 squared. Well, this one over here, this denominator needs an x squared plus x plus 1. This one already has the common denominator. Let's FOIL the ax through. We have ax to the third plus ax squared plus ax. Then we'll FOIL the b through. We have plus bx squared plus bx plus b. And then we have plus cx plus d. Now all that is equal to 4x to the third minus 7x. Let's start with the x to the thirds. We have 4 on the left. That's equal to a, so we can cancel these out. Let's look at the coefficients of x. We have negative 7 is equal to, coefficients of x are a, we have a, plus b. So a plus b and plus c. Now the others, the x squared and the constants, are zeros. So now 0 for x squared, that's going to be a, and then plus b. And for the constants, there's no constant on the left side, so b plus d must be 0 also. Well, we know that a is 4, so if we go down here, we have 0 equals 4 plus b. Now b is equal to negative 4. If we have 4 plus negative 4, or we could look at it this way, a plus b is 0. This piece is 0, so c must be negative 7. C is negative 7. And then if we have a is 4, we have b is negative 4, we have c is negative 7, and we need d. But we know b is negative 4. We have 0 equals negative 4 plus d. D now is 4. D equals 4. And we have all of the letters, all the variables that we need. The answer we're looking for is ax plus b. A is 4, so we have 4x minus 4 over x squared plus x plus 1, and then plus the c is negative 7. Negative 7x plus 4, d is 4, all over x squared plus x plus 1 squared. Find the partial fraction decomposition of this one. X to the third minus x over x squared minus 3 squared is equal to, we have a x plus b over x squared minus 3, and then plus cx plus d over x squared minus 3 squared. Well, this over here, this denominator, just needs 1 x squared minus 3. And so we have x to the third minus x is equal to ax to the third minus 3ax plus bx squared, and then minus 3b. Then we have plus cx plus d. Let's look at the x to the thirds. 1 is equal to a. That takes care of x to the thirds. The x squareds are 0. 0 is equal to now b. So we have the x squareds taken care of. The coefficients of x is negative 1 equals negative 3a. So negative 3a. And then we have plus c. The constant is 0 on the left side, and that's going to be negative 3b plus d. A is 1, b is 0, c is equal to, well, if a is 1, then we have negative 1 equals negative 3 plus c. C is 2. And d, we need to find d. Well, we have 3b, negative 3b plus d, but b is 0, so d must be 0 also. We are ready to write the answer. We have x plus 0, because we have a plus b, so just x over x squared minus 3, and then plus c is 2, and d is 0, so we have 2x over x squared minus 3 squared.